We would be discussing the MMPC-12 and strategic management uh, subjects. The most important topic after strategic management process, which is environmental analysis. So here we would be discussing the important topic, environment analysis, how to write the answer, what actually is environment analysis, and how the questions that has been asked previously, what are the questions that has been asked previously about the environment analysis topic. Okay, so before that I have put the video on strategic management process, and what are the different steps of the strategic management process. So actually one of its first step of strategic management process is what? Environmental analysis. Okay, if you have seen that video you would know that the first step of this strategic management process is environmental analysis. Okay, so before starting the video I just want to make sure, to tell that, yeah, you please like my video, share the video, and make sure you subscribe the video. Okay, so it would be an encouragement for me to put more videos, okay, on important topics and previous year questions. So let's get started. So this environmental analysis question, the questions that has been asked multiple times. You can see here that it has been multiple times this questions has been asked from environmental analysis. So it's very important that you study what is environmental analysis, because there's a high chance that it can be asked again, like 22, 23, 24, 25. So why not in 2026? Okay, so it has been multiple times it has been asked, and it now has a very um, visible character of asking the questions again and again. So this is one of the most important topic. Make sure you learn. Okay, let's start. Yeah. So what is environmental analysis? Environmental analysis is the process of examining and evaluating the internal and external factors that influence an organization's strategic decisions. So we know that we have studied business environment, right, in MBA first semester. So in that we have studied that environment can be divided into internal environment and external environment. There are some factors in internal environment as well as there are some factors in external environment which overall decide the organization's performance. So when we are implementing the strategy, we have to make sure that we have done a thorough environmental analysis in external and internal way. So it is the process of examining and evaluating the internal as well as the external factors that influence and organize strategic decisions. So when we take a strategic decision for our organization, we have to consider the internal and external environment and collect the data and analyze it properly, and we have to formulate the particular strategic decision that have to be implemented to solve a particular problem. Okay, it can be an opportunity discovered or it can be a threat. Okay, so it helps the managers to understand the environment in which the organization operates and enable them to formulate the appropriate strategy. Okay. In simple words, we can say what environmental analysis means: understanding what is happening both inside and outside the organization before making the strategic decision. So that's what actually is environmental analysis. So when a 20-mark question is asked from environmental analysis, how we will write? First we have to write what is environmental analysis, why do we need environmental analysis, what are the different steps of environmental analysis, how can we classify the environmental analysis, and give examples to each of them. Okay, so minimum at least, like if you write 4 pages, there's a high chance you get a total of 20 marks. Okay, so make sure you write everything, because environmental analysis is a very easy topic if you have a proper understanding. So why do we actually need environment analysis? Earlier we have discussed why. To have a organization strategic decision, we need to examine and evaluate the internal and external factors. So why it is important? Environmental analysis is helping the organization to identify the opportunities in the market. Like if there are new opportunities, new uh, opportunities for producing any particular good, we can analyze the newer opportunities and identify it, right? Then we can implement new products for that new opportunities, new goods and services for that opportunity, and increase the sale and be the first one in the market to produce such things, right? Next one is detect the threats. So if there is a new competitor arising in the uh, market and they are offering the particular product that our organization is also selling in a very much lower price, then what happens? The customer tends to buy the product which is lower price, right? So what happens? Eventually our organization's profit decreases, our revenue decreases. So it is an overall loss for the organization. So it is very important that we identify and detect the threat at the earlier stage so that we can implement mitigation decisions and different strategies to avoid this particular situation. Okay. Next one is understand the customer need. Customers would be having different kinds of needs. Their needs would be changing, right? When we consider ourselves, like the thing that you needed maybe before a month won't be the same thing that you need right now, right? So the customers needs changes, then adapt to environmental changes. So when we consider external environment, there might be, what to say, that there would be different laws and regulations changes according to the uh, maybe the politics changing at that particular area, maybe the, what can say, it can also the seasonal changes that happening, right? So next one is improve the decision making. So why we need environmental analysis? We need to identify the opportunities, detect the threats, customer need understanding, adapt to environmental changes, improve the decision making. Okay. Then we need, yeah, to get a competitive advantage of the things of the market, then reduce uncertainty. Like if we do the analysis properly, we know that what is going to happen the next, right? So we can, it can reduce the uncertainty. So these are the points that I have taken to make sure that you understand what is environmental analysis and why we need it. If you can add more points, that's great. Next one is types of environment. We have discussed it earlier. It can be broadly classified into two, right? Internal environment and external environment. So in internal environment, what are the factors affecting? So this internal environment, the organization can control the internal environment, right? So this includes human resources. Next one is organizational culture, financial resources, technology used inside the organization, production capability, management style. So these things can be what controlled, coordinated, and organized by the organization. So if there are some things that need to be changed or strategies to implement it here, we can do it, right? For better production, for better satisfaction, for example, when we take production capability, based on environmental analysis, we understand that what the next season is going to be very a season where there need to be having high production, high output is needed in the next particular season, because yeah, we can say that okay, our country is organizing the FIFA World Cup in India. Okay, in India, our country is organizing the FIFA World Cup, and you are, what we can say, a company who is selling jerseys and customized t-shirt. So you understand that what, okay, next month is going to be a very busy month and a lot of national and international people are coming to India to watch this thing. And India is going in the most of the people in India would be going behind the cricket, but there are a lot of people who is interested in football too. So there would be a trend in what to say, wearing these jerseys with what to say, yeah, jerseys with this famous football players name like Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, right? So these people would be needing these kind of what jerseys. So we should increase the capacity production capacity should be increased at that time, so that according to the need of the customer we would be able to produce that much amount, which will increase the revenue also. So that's a particular example that just came into my mind. Okay. So a strong internal environment enables firms to effectively utilize the opportunities available in the external environment. So as I said, in the external environment, the opportunity was the FIFA World Cup is organized by India. The company needs to utilize this opportunity to what, to improve their production and everything, to understand what all strategic changes has to be done inside the environment, internal environment, so we can achieve the objective that the organization needs. Next one is external environment. So there are factors outside the organization that cannot be controlled but significantly influence its functioning. Like if it is inside the organization, we can control it. But if it is outside an organization, can we control it? No, you cannot control. But significantly influence its functioning. It can influence the functions of the organization. So the external environment is analyzed using the PESTLE framework. Where whichever question paper you take, there is either environment scanning or this PESTLE framework. Okay. So in this PESTLE, uh, each letter stands for each external environment. So the PESTLE is a strategic tool used to analyze the macro environmental factors affecting the organization. Here it is macro, right? And the first one, PESTLE, the first letter is what? P. P stands for political factors. So political factors refers to the government actions, policies that influence the business operation. For example, taxation policies, if out of nowhere or based on the new government or something, they are deciding to increase the taxes, what happens? The cost that organization has to spend on their cost is increased, which decrease their profit, revenue and all, right? Then there's trade restrictions, like if they are saying like the goods from this country cannot be sent to the this and this particular country, right? Then what happened? That affects the organization which produce that particular goods. Then government stability, if the government is stable or not. Like if there is an unstable government, the rules and regulations are going to be changing every day, and it affects the organization performance. Labor policies, foreign investment regulation. So these are the some of the examples which are coming under the what, political factors. PESTLE, in PESTLE, the first letter is P. P stand for political factors. In political factors, what will come? The examples are taxation, trade restrictions, government stability, labor policies, foreign investment regulations. Okay. For example, change in GST rates. In India, there is GST, right? The change in GST rates can influence the pricing decision of the businesses. So, what are the impact on organization? Determine the ease of doing business, influences the investment decisions, affect the expansion strategies. I hope you understood what is P, political factors, right? So, next one is E. Before that, once again, If you haven't subscribed it, please do subscribe. Okay. The next is E. E stand for economic factors. What is economic? Economic relate to the overall performance of the economy. So in Indian economy, if the Indian economy is functioning well, it is a great thing, so that we have a good impact on our business, right? If it is performing very badly, like there is a high inflation, high interest rates, and there is a low economic growth, then our organization is going to suffer, right? So if inflation, industries, interest rates, economic growth, exchange rates, unemployment levels, these are going to affect the what performance of the economy, and in turn performance of the organization. During a recession, consumer spending decreases, reducing the demand. I hope you understand, right? During recession, what happens? We will decrease our spending. We won't spend that much. So what happens? The demand for that particular good drops. So the impact on organization. What is going to happen? What is the impact on organization of economy? Influences the customer's purchasing power. Like if our economy is doing great, like everyone is employed, everyone is having good income, and there is like a normal inflation, interest rates are not that much high, then what happens? The customers purchasing power increases, right? They would be purchasing many goods, and thus the demand and supply increases, right? Then affects the production planning, determines the profitability. Okay, so we have finished P. P stands for political. E stands for economy. Now this is S. What is S? S for society. Social factors. Social factors refers to the demographic and cultural characteristics of the society. So our organization is inside a society. So the changes in the society, the culture of the society, the demographic of the society is going to affect our organization, because organization is situated inside and surrounded by society. Example: population growth, lifestyle changes, educational levels, consumer attitudes, health consciousness. Right now we know that like people are becoming very much health conscious, and people are moving towards healthier options, right? Lifestyle changes, like for example, we can say that earlier people are used to wear like traditional clothes, but right now people are going for modern clothes, right? So obviously if it is a textile industry and organization, they have to bring out more varieties in modern clothes and increase the production in modern clothes. If society is demanding that, we have to perform according to it, to in order to increase the production and to stay in this society. Okay, the increasing preference for healthy foods has boosted the demands for organic products. Yeah, that's one of the example for the social thing, social factor. So what is the impact on the organization? Help the understand the customer's preference, support product development, improve market segmentation. Next is technological factor. T stand for technological factors. Technological factors include innovation and advancements that influence the business. Example: automation can reduce the manpower, right, needed for the production. Artificial intelligence, digital transformation, research and development, e-commerce technologies. So the example is the adoption of online banking transform the financial service industries. What are the impact? Improves efficiency, encourages innovation, creates competitive advantage. So I'm just making the things faster because it has already been 19 minutes. Yeah, it would be difficult for you to spend a long time on this topic, right? But this is very important topic, you have to learn and go, okay? Otherwise you would miss a 20-mark question, which is way, which you could write in a way easy manner. L stand for legal factors. Legal factors refers to laws and regulations governing business activities. Example, consumer protection law, competition law, employment law, environmental regulations, intellectual property rights. Data privacy regulations affect how companies handle customer information, right? Next one is impact on organization. What is the impact of this laws and regulations on the organization? Ensure compliance, reduce legal risk, protect stakeholders. The last one, E. The PESTLE's E stand for environmental factors. So there is actually two in PESTLE, right? The E that comes after P, which is economic, and the last E is the environmental. So environmental factors relate to the ecological sustainability concerns. It's basically the actual environment, right? That is climate change, pollution control, waste management, sustainable practices, carbon emission regulation, these things that affect our environment. So many organizations are shifting towards eco-friendly packaging to reduce what? Reduce the impact. So they are shifting from plastic or the non-eco-friendly packaging to eco-friendly packaging. So it reduces the environmental impact by decreasing the waste and improving the economy. So impact of organization enhances corporate image, right? If we see a company saying that okay, we are using the sustainable eco-friendly packaging methods, so we think that oh, the company is nice, the company is like concerned towards the environment, right? So the image is improved, promotes sustainability, ensures regulatory compliance. Okay. So there are steps in environment analysis. We have steps that need to be followed when we're doing the environment analysis. First one is identify. Identify the environmental factors. The environmental factors can be internal and what? External. Next one is collect relevant information. Information. After identifying, we need to collect the information. Next one, analyze. Analyze the opportunities and threats. Assess their impact. Formulate suitable strategies. Monitor environmental changes continuously. So this is easy. First we have to do is identify, then collect, then analyze, then assess, then formulate, then monitor. Okay. What is the importance? As I said, if there is a 20 mark question, you have to say what is environmental analysis, different classification of environmental analysis into internal, external, and in external we have PESTLE. Explain each of it with example. Then why do we need environmental analysis? What is the importance of environmental analysis? Okay. So if you answer these all things, you will get 20 marks with examples. Okay. In environment analysis enables the organization to make proactive decisions, reduce uncertainty, improve strategic flexibility, allocate resources effectively, enhance long-term survival. So, what are the different previous year questions that has been asked from environment analysis? Explain the relationship between general environment and strategy. Discuss the process of analyzing external environment. What is the process? PESTLE. What is the difference between general environmental and the environment strategy? Hmm? You can refer it here. Okay. How is general environment affecting the strategies that we are taking? There is like internal and external environment that affect the strategies that we will be taking. Next one is how can one analyze the external environment? The PESTLE one. Okay. If I wait till yeah, I can complete it. PESTLE. P stand for political, E stand for economic, S stand for social, T stand for what does T stand for? I don't remember. T stand for technology. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, PESTLE. T stand for technology, L stand for laws and rules and regulation, E stand for environment. So these you should not forget. So in global context, how they would take the environmental decisions analysis. You need to analyze the globally how this external environment thing, that is PESTLE itself. What are the different factors and analyzed under PESTLE? Explain any two factors in detail. So here you need to uh, analyze PESTLE and any two of them in detail. Then evaluate contribution of environmental analysis to strategic decision. So again, you have to say what is environmental analysis, what is strategic decision or strategic management process, what is different factors and how these are influencing, and what is the impact. Here we have to focus on the impact of different environmental factors included in the environmental analysis, which has a great impact in the strategic decision making. So when you write the exam, you write an essay, right? In essay, we need to underline these and these things, like the major things, major steps, and major factors. So yeah, as a quick revision, we discussed today environmental analysis. Environmental analysis means studying internal and external factors. You have to remember PESTLE. PESTLE comes here in external factors. PESTLE is political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environment. Okay. So make sure you write the meaning of PESTLE, its factors, examples, importance. Okay. That's all for this today. I know this video was very long, but I wanted it to be short. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'm very sure that at least one question would be asked from environmental analysis. So just study, and all the best for your exams.